Hi, it's Morty, broadcasting from my trading room in London. Just want to talk about my Euro-Yen trade this afternoon. As usual, I have a look at the markets at lunchtime, and I just scrolled through all of the charts, trying to find a currency pair that had some action in the morning, and really I want to see them get escape velocity so that the price action has got outside the line bundle, and this certainly happened with the Euro-Yen. What I'm looking to do is try and buy on the retracement, and the buy level was going to be somewhere around 155, the figure, judging by the black line. What I then did was went to the grid, and in fact there was a level at about 155, the figure. Now that meant that I was going to be a buyer of this market if price went down to this level. But what I wanted to see was really a 4-column support underneath it. In other words, I wanted to see a level in 4 time frames, or at least in 3 time frames, that was very similar, and underneath that I wanted a 10-point gap before the next line or space, or ranger as we used to call it in the old system. Then the question is just sitting tight, and it's a strange combination of being patient but then taking rapid action once the pattern emerges. And this is the bit where I was waiting, and I was tempted to edit this down, but I think the best thing to do is actually watch it in real time. And so I've kept it because you can see that there's a suspicion there's going to be support at 155, the figure, and it's just a question of waiting for price to get down there, and you'll see that this does slowly develop, and then I have a small window of opportunity to actually trade. Now you can see that on the 5-minute the 154.99 is coming up, and you can start to see the column support, and there it is, it appears. So I've now got 4-column support at 155, the figure. And now I was watching very closely, and if you'll see in a minute that I bring the FX Euro-Yen window across, so that I'm ready to click on buy. And as soon as I saw 155.01, I think is the lowest it went, then that was enough. I wasn't going to hang out any longer, because I knew that this market was going to go north. So here I bring in the FX I'm ready to trade, watching the golden bar on the left, 155.04, 155.05, 04, 05. It's flickering backwards and forwards above the support. There's a little bit of a dip down to 01, and that was it. I was in. I only need to say 01, and that was enough. Now, of course, what often happens is that the market doesn't immediately boomerang, but you know that there is significant support at that level, at about 155, the figure. We have 4 columns beneath it, and it's just a question of waiting. And as usual, it doesn't happen. It's very important not to get paranoid about this. You do need to allow, having got in and waited patiently for the pattern to actually form, then having taken it, you need to then wait for the market to move northwards. Now, this is still before 8:30 New York, and often I find this a very fertile time to trade, and you'll see this also in the webinars, where pre-news times are often quite good places to get pips. Now, I've told you where my entry level is. My exit level is at the top of the bundle, which was at 155.26, 155.22, somewhere around there on the 1-minute chart, and just a question of watching it slowly move up. It's interesting how markets move up in steps, and often test and then come back and then move up to a level. And levels become significant transiently, and so 155.12, I was actually got past the spread very quickly and was in negative territory for a very small amount of time. I got in at 155.06. That's where I got filled. And then I got past the spread, and it hovered around 155.09, 155.10. So there was a leg up from 155.06, a leg up to somewhere about 110 to 113. Sorry, 155.13, 155.10, 155.13. and then I was just waiting for the next leg up to the top of the bundle. Now you can see the top of the bundle there, the two red boxes on the 1 minute. There's also a Ranger in there as well, but this is about 155.24. I actually had set my limit at 155.22, so I got in with my eyeball, but I get out with a limit. As you can see, it retraces back to 155.05, which means about break even. I got to about -2 pips here, having been in the trade for about 2 or 3 minutes. Again, I wasn't too concerned, because I knew the 4-column support would hold, although I noticed it disappeared there on the 5 minutes, but you can see it coming back in. So we've got a 4-column support at it was 154.88 was the lowest, and since that represents about 20, so we've got a risk-reward ratio of about 1 to 1 there. If I was going to have a mental stop at 154.88, so we're back up into this middle territory, this first leg, with a position showing +2 or +3, and it's just a question of being patient. Statistically, the odds of this going to the top of the bundle are very high indeed. This is a huge edge to have in the markets, and it requires no other input. The odd times when you get stopped out, you could have said, well, there were option barriers there, or Reuters released some news early, or something peculiar happened, or there was a Russian name, or sovereign wealth fund. You know, all these reasons why markets reverse. There's very little advantage to knowing about them. And as you can see, I'm now getting up to the second leg. So the middle leg was around about 155.10, around 155.24, and there I'm out. My limit was 155.22, and just confirmation. So it's now 8:22. So I've only been in about 6 minutes or so, and as you can see, I bought at 155.06, and I got out at 155.22, and it was a very easy, painless trade. Now I could have hung out for more, could have moved my stop up, because subsequently Euro Yen went to 155.90 or something, and it was still another 70 points on the table. But we're really concentrating on taking between 10 and 20 points on a regular basis, and this really was a very easy trade. So this is Morty Sill saying goodbye from my trading room in London.